Hello, darlings. I haven't seen you for such a long time. I thought I'd come on and talk about die-off because the other day I had some kefir that was 6 weeks old and I smelt it and it smelled really good, and I mixed it with a raw egg and some honey and some cinnamon into an eggnog and sipped it, and I thought that tastes fine. I really, yeah, it's great. So I chugged back a big load of kefir, which of course is the king of all the ferments. And all those good bacteria in that kefir basically had a massive punch up with my gut bugs. Hi, Monica. If you've got any questions about die-off, let's talk about die-off. And, you know, it's a funny thing because some people, hi Ali, some people think die-off, some people get sick, like with the flu or with the cold, the nose starts running, inflammation starts, you know, and they think, oh no, I've got a cold. Oh no, I've got the flu or whatever. But what if you've been following a really, a beautiful protocol like GAPS, for instance, where you're having lots of stock and lots of good fats, and you're avoiding the complex carbohydrates, and you're, preparing your nuts and seeds properly, and you're having your kvass and your lacto-fermented vegetables and all of your fermented dairy, and you're doing all of these good things, and yet you still get ill. You're still getting ill, Oh, hello, darlings. If you've got any questions about die-off, just stick it in the comments and I'll try and get to it. So, but I know that what happened to me last week when I chugged down that big glass of kefir, that literally that night my belly was aching. I was feeling really rough, really shaky, a bit sick, a bit, kind of headachy, kind of the symptoms that you would think, oh no, I've got food poisoning, But I know it wasn't food poisoning, it was die-off, and a massive die-off at that. So that night I was tossing and turning, I couldn't sleep in bed, and I suddenly went, well, hold on a minute, Emma, they're having a punch-up. The good bacteria are having a punch-up with the bad guys inside you, and there's casualties, and that's why you're feeling so rough. So I dragged myself out of bed. I was struggling to walk down the corridor. I was kind of bouncing off the walls a little bit in my... oh my God, my brain was foggy. I had no energy. I had a fever, actually. I had a really powerful fever. Anyway, went to the kitchen cabinet and got myself some charcoal tablets. A couple of charcoal tablets, knocked them back. And I slept after that. And then in the morning I woke up, felt very dry in my mouth, because I think my body had sealed off my digestive system. I'd not really had any water come into me. So yeah, I chugged back, a big bottle of filtered water. Then I had my BOO, my black oxygen organic full of minerals, to remineralize me. And then I had one of my little green juice things, or green smoothies or whatever. And I had some lemon in my water. I don't know, I just carried on with my detox. And then the day after that, felt amazing. That's how I know it was a die-off. It wasn't that I had food poisoning or flu. It's not that a bug got a hold of me and started proliferating and then it's trying to get me and I'm going to die because I've got germs. It's not that. It's more that you've introduced good stuff to your body. I'm only talking about here people who are kind of consciously eating and trying to make changes to their diet so that they feel better. They do all this good work and then they catch cold or get the flu or get tummy bug or whatever. But what I'm saying is what it can be seen as, you can look at it from a different perspective. You can look at it as what we call die-off, or a HERX, a Herxheimer reaction. It's that you've got to get worse before you get better. It's just the law of healing, that your body has a little healing crisis just at the 11th hour when everything's going really well. Then your body has a little healing crisis, and then you pick up, and suddenly the symptoms aren't there anymore. And this has happened. I've seen it happen time and time and time again. Dr. Natasha's been writing about it for the last 20 years. So many medical proper professionals working in alternative fields recognise that a healing crisis is a good thing. It's your body having a little moment of inflammation so that it can sort the problem out. And the best thing we can do is relax into it. Bed rest, have a cup of chicken stock, have a hot salt bath with your, Epsom salts or your Dead Sea salts. like a good mugful, you know, a really big, nice, you know, Epsom salts. And rest. Just rest. Just give in and let your body do its thing. It's like this eternal battle between the dark forces and the forces of light, you know. There's the good guys in the spectrum, in the garden that is the microbiome of your gut health, your gut. It's an ecosystem. It's like you're a universe. Everyone's unique, and your universe is different to the next person's universe. And, you know, it's finding a balance between the good guys and the bad guys. So what we're doing on GAPS is we're constantly feeding the good guys, constantly. And even me, after 10 years, a seasoned pro, a GAPS goddess, whatever you want to call it, a master of my microbiome, and feeling really groovy at 53 years old, feeling full of beans, feeling better energy than I had when I was in my 30s. And I can still make mistakes of overdosing on the fermented foods. So that just shows how powerful they are. And we don't need to go and buy expensive probiotics. We can make our own, and it's really quick and easy. You can learn all about it on the GAPS app. The Get Going with GAPS course that I've been running for the last years and years and years is now online and easily accessible on a little app. It's not free at the moment. I'd like to make it free to anybody who wanted to learn about GAPS, because this is such important information. The food is the medicine, you know, and there's so many people who need help. So you can work with me one-to-one as well. I've got some amazing offers. You can see it at timelesscookery.com. So if you've got tummy issues, or you're constantly poorly, or the kids have always got snotty noses, or that you've got behavioural issues at home, which, I mean, everyone is so tense, it's just off the scale at the moment, I know. But what happens is, if your gut health isn't very good, your anxiety is through the roof because of all the fear porn out there and the terribleness going on. It's not just fear porn. There is, as far as I can tell, things that are pretty scary. But we don't have to take it. We can just say, no, thank you, and we can smile and wave. You know, we don't have to take the fear, oppression. I wish you all the absolute peak of health, and sending you lots and lots of love. And if you know anyone who's got inflammation or has got something chronic going on, do let them know about GAPS, because it's a way out. And we've been helping people with all sorts. I'm not going to say what we've been helping them with, because, you know, we've been helping them with all sorts of chronic stuff that won't go away, you know. And so you can do something about it. And it's so, my heart swells when I think about everything that we can do at the same time as strengthening the web of life, because all the foods we're eating on GAPS are actually strengthening the web of life, you know. There's the holy cow that does the holy doo-doo, that feeds the holy microorganisms, that feeds the holy worms, that feed the holy birds, that feeds the holy cycle of life, you know. It's all part of Mother Nature's grand design, and we can husband the land and actually strengthen the web of life. And then there's an exchange. You know, you take the cow to fresh pasture, you give her a barn with straw and protect her calf from the wolf, and she'll give you some milk in exchange. That is the deal, you know. So we've been told that the cows are destroying the climate, and that only baby cows should eat raw milk. And lots of people are very allergic to the dairy, and that's understandable, because pasteurised milk is completely indigestible. But fermented dairy, on the other hand, from a beautiful source, can really do wonders. And it's the fermented dairy that is key, really, to recolonising your gut with good guys. Although, you know, if you are completely allergic to it, anaphylactic allergic, there are ways to heal the gut to then reintroduce the dairy. Might take you a couple of years, but you can do it. But if you only have a mild version to it, like it makes your nose a bit bunged up, that's a die-off, right? It makes your nose a bit bunged up. You think, oh, I can't eat dairy, I'm allergic to it. But you're not, you're just intolerant to it. And that's because you've got leaky gut. Oh, we need to do some more healing and sealing of the gut lining before you introduce the fermented dairy, the kefir, the king of the ferments. If you can get to a cup of kefir a day, I tell you what, there ain't much going to touch you. You'll have such a robust immune system. So, getting into the dairy when we've been told it's so bad for us. I didn't have dairy for years, for about 5 years, 4 or 5 years. In fact, I gave my children soy milk, which is my one regret in my whole life, because it messes with your endocrine system so badly. So be aware. I can't see if there's any questions about die-off there. I don't think there is. Hi Sandra, hi Fiona. Hello darlings, hi Jackie. Yeah, the GAPS nutritional protocol. For any kind of chronic ailment that won't go away. I mean, I just got rid of an abscess. I had an abscess for 18 months. It's gone. I think it's from the fulvic minerals, and I've been doing a bit of fasting, and but that's on a foundation of 10 years of GAPS, which it's not that I have to do GAPS. I just like to do GAPS. I can eat pizzas and drink beer if I want to, but I'm not that bothered. I actually get more pleasure from the real deal meals, So die-off is not something to be frightened of. It's something to welcome. When you can recognise what it is. So rather than thinking, oh my God, I'm dying, a bug's trying to kill me, you think, okay, inside of me there's a little bit of a punch-up going on between the good guys and the bad guys, and I'm going to help the good guys by just lying down, resting, drinking plenty of mineral water, getting your minerals down you, and having hot salt baths. That's a really good way. I think Rescue Remedy is also quite good. Anyway, darlings, lots of love to you, and see you soon.